What's up guys, R13 here and welcome to another Gunpla review. So we've done the unboxing and the speed build. Now let's talk about this unit here in general. But before moving forward, a little bit of a recap and a little bit of a spoiler alert. Okay, let's do the recap first. This unit was released back in 2016 with a price tag of 1200 yen. IBO kits in general are very cheap and affordable, and the designs are really good, and they put as much quality as they can. Okay, so the next part is the spoiler alert here. This unit made its first appearance at the season 2 of IBO with an interesting storyline. So the pilot of this unit, his name is the Masked Man Vidar, and in truth, he is Gali, who survived the final battle at the first season. Now, Vidar here is actually Gundam Chimeras, repaired, armor stripped, an AHAB reactor added to hide its identity, and its purpose is for revenge. Yeah, quite an interesting storyline. So, that is the short version of the spoiler alert. And there is actually another variant of Vidar here, which I'm going to be unboxing later. Okay, so let's move forward, shall we? So the general structure of IBO is actually quite nice, especially the Gundam frames itself, because it actually shares similarities. And you guys can do, you can swap the parts of IBO kits very easily without having any issue, which I am actually very thankful for. So you guys can actually remove certain pieces here, even the shoulders, swap it with the, let's say, Barbatos shoulder, and you got your own unique Vidar, Barbatos, even the headpiece, and the backpack also, which is actually quite nice. So Vidar here is actually built for close range purposes, but it actually carries a rifle and two handguns. Yeah, and the side skirts here, as you guys can see, is actually where the sword actually pops. Now this one here you can actually remove, and this is more like a fencing sword, which is actually quite nice. So once in the battle, once the this fencing sword is broken, Vidar actually just pop in the hilt, and you get another sword. This is actually very similar to the Attack on Titan's weapon system, which is actually quite interesting and quite nice. Okay, so yeah. And then on top of that, when as I mentioned already, like you can actually swap the parts here. And this is actually a prime example. As you can see, you can even put the Chimeras booster if you want to give it a more unique look, as mentioned already. Okay, so the next part that I actually want to do is to show you guys the nubs and the seam lines, which it's not a whole lot. Now we're gonna start off with the rifle here. And now, just a fun fact, if you guys haven't watched IBOs in general yet, you won't see like beam attacks except for the season 2. So there's actually a storyline for that, which I advise you guys to check it out whenever you guys get the chance. So as you guys can see here, the rifle actually get the seam line and some nubs that you guys can actually check, fix easily. And this one here is actually of different material. Now the next part that I want to show you guys is the handgun here, which is actually quite nice. There's actually some nubs that you guys can actually fix easily. Yeah. And then for the unit itself, just a second here. Okay, so for Vidar itself, there's actually some seam lines and some nubs, especially here at the arm, but you can fix that with sanding. There's a seam line here at the shoulder, as you guys can see. But the whole itself is actually quite nice. You won't notice it much. And you got the seam lines here at the side skirt, the feet, but then the knobs, yeah, not a whole lot. Okay, so that's it for the seam lines. Now for the extra parts here, you guys have already seen the sword here. We do have the guns, a pair of them, which is actually quite nice. Swappable parts. And then you got your rifle. And then you got your handgun hands here, which is actually very, very nice. Yep. And installing this is actually easy. Yep. And then the next part is the backpack. And that you can just install right away, swap it. And that's it for the extra parts actually, which is actually quite nice. There's a few extra polycaps that are leftovers, but overall, most of the items you are going to be using for any way you want to. Now, the next part that I want to do is a mobility test. But first off, let's remove this piece here. Now, for the mobility test, it's actually going to be very, very simple. Now, we're going to start off with the headpiece here. The headpiece can actually do 360-degree and actually got good range and mobility, as you guys can see here. And for the arms here, it's actually a ball joint. And as you can see, it's actually quite nice. Even the shoulder piece actually is movable. You can actually remove this piece here and swap it with a different armor. But shoulder piece, okay. Now this side here, it's actually not double jointed, so you got actually some limitations. And there's a slot here that you may have to, like, I don't know what's this purpose for, but I'm gonna guess you can actually install some parts here. And then you get good range of motion here for the connector shoulder piece, and that's how far it can go. And for your hand, 360 ball joint. Funny thing is, it's actually quite easy to actually pull this off. Yep. Compared to the other kits. And then the next part that I actually want to do is, I'm just kind of tearing this apart now, is the torso area. Now the torso, there's actually some mobility here, as you guys can see. And yeah, it is actually quite nice. Now let's just put this. Okay, and then you can definitely turn this as actually a ball joint, ball polycaps there. Can definitely do 360. Now the next part that I actually want to do is the side skirt here. The side skirt got some mobility, and there's a polycap connector there. And you can just remove it easily, install any side skirt that you want. Now there's this 3 pieces here that I actually want to show it to you guys. Could have some issue putting this back together. Okay, just a second. Okay, you know what? To keep this review as short as possible, it's practically the same as this one here with 3 connectors, keeping the 3 together. So you can actually do a little bit of diorama, and there's some a polycap here connector. So that's it. Now the next part is the waist itself. Now the front skirt actually moves. The back skirt, not really. And then underneath here you got a connector for a basic action base, which is actually quite nice, and the connector for the waist and legs is not a ball joint but a connector. Really nice. And then there's some good mobility here. You can definitely do a 360. And that's how far it can go to bend it. And as you guys can see, the thrusters kind of fall off. Okay, it can definitely do a high kick if you want to. And then let's just put that back. And then the next piece is the thrusters. It can kind of move, and you guys have seen it already fall off. And then the feet actually get some mobility also. IBO designs, especially for the feet, is actually quite nice, as you can see. Yeah. And then you got this piece here, which I'm gonna explain afterwards. Okay. That's it for the articulation test. Now let's go on to the next segment here, which are the details. Well, now let's talk about the details of this unit here. Got to admit, even without the stickers, it is already nice. A little bit of panel lining, and you can already put this in your display case. But I can still suggest you guys either using the stickers or paint it. I got some plans on painting this in the near future. I want this as close to the color scheme in the series. Now, as for the details here, it is actually quite nice. As you guys can see, yeah, it's specifically made for close range combat. Like, its main weaponry is only long range is the rifle here, and a handgun, a pair of handgun, but mostly it is a range weapon. Even the feet can be turned into a weapon here, which I'm gonna show you guys here. Yeah, wow. Yep. So just to be able to beat Gundam Bale. Wow. Yeah. I haven't watched the series yet, so but I kind of spoiled it already for myself. Okay. Now, some of the issues that you guys may have already noticed is the thrusters here. When bending it, it kind of falls off easily, and you can pull it out easily. You can use clear nail polish to fix the issue. Now, the other issue that you guys will notice is some of the parts may come off easily. Now, don't be alarmed. It's actually quite stable, and it's just easy to remove. That's it. And yeah, the seam lines are there, but you can fix that, and the knobs, very little. And you guys can definitely use a basic action base to fix the issue. Not to fix the issue, but to save some money. Okay. So overall, the question is this a good purchase? Yes, it is. For the price of 1,200 yen, it already got a really good detail. It shares similarities with the other Gundam frames in the IBO series, and it gives you the option to kit bash other IBO kits, or if you want, you can use other Gundams from the other series. It gives you more, and this unit actually got really good mobility, and yeah, just go get it, guys. I can actually highly advise it. I shouldn't have waited this long to build this unit. And I'm glad that I'm back into building IBO kits again, and this is a good start. Okay, so in my unboxing, give my unboxing as much like as you can. Once I reach a certain mark, I will unbox the 1100. It's gonna be my first 1100 IBO. Okay, that is all the time I got for today. Thank you guys for watching. Much appreciated. Don't forget to click that subscribe button right over there and bell notification to get my regular uploads of reviews, unboxing, time-lapse, and sometimes I add a little bit once in a while. And I do run another YouTube channel called Traveling Pinoy. You guys can check that out also. if you guys get a little bit of tired of watching reviews. Okay, that is all I got again. Have a good day, good night, afternoon, wherever you are. R13 signing out. Thank you.